Good afternoon everybody and welcome to my channel. My name's Elaine and I'm Ellie Wellie Stitcher, both here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. And yeah, good afternoon. It's afternoon here, it's Sunday afternoon in my little corner of Anglesey, and it's been a hot minute since I last saw you. I think I last filmed on the 31st of December, so it's almost a month ago, but that was my WIP parade. I think my last WIP update was on, was it the 27th or 28th of December, something like that. So it's been a month since I last saw you, and I've always tried to film sort of every 3 weeks in the past, but I did tell you that it will probably be a month this time, what with one thing and another. And that seems to have worked quite well for me, because actually when I've excuse me, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. As long as it stays there and doesn't go to my stitching, it's all good. Yeah, so I've lost the plot now. What was I going to say? That's a great start, isn't it? We're only a minute in and I've already forgotten what I was going to say. Oh dear. No, I know. So yeah, I said you know, probably be a month until I filmed again, and it has been, and it's kind of worked quite well for me, because when I pulled everything out today, I realised that actually I've stitched on more than I thought that I had, and so I've got, you know, quite a bit to show you really. So what have I got for you today? I haven't got any finishes. I have got a new start. I've got quite a lot of WIPs that I've worked on. I've got a little bit of haul and some gifts that were given to me that was really nice, so I'll show you those. I've got a little bit of a life update, you know, just because it has been a month and things happen, don't they? I've got a bit of a book review for you, and if there is time, I did promise you that I'd show you what I've got kitted up as well. Now, I haven't got masses of things kitted up. I've got 12 projects, but I have got them out in case there is time. If there isn't, then maybe I'll do it as a separate video another day. Right, okay, let's get into it, shall we? So, first of all, welcome to my new subscribers, and I have had quite a few since I last filmed, and I'm guessing that's because you guys must have found me through my WIP parade, I presume. So you're very welcome here. Thank you for coming and spending some time with me. My regular viewers will tell you that I don't tend to make short videos. They tend to be at the very least an hour. In fact, they're more than likely an hour and a half as a rule. You know, so if you only like short videos, I'm probably not the one for you. Or you can always put me on double speed or something, so I go blah, 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 and you can see all my WIPs really, really quick and then leave. So, you know, that's the beauty of YouTube, isn't it? You don't have to watch me in like normal speed, if you like. You can watch me speeded up. Right, okay, sometimes I wish I had a speed up option, you know, in real life. It would be really useful sometimes, I think. If you can hear the wind a bit, it's not terribly windy today, to be honest, but my craft room does seem to pick up every single noise that goes on outside of it. So like I say, it's Sunday afternoon. It's actually really quite pleasant outside. The sun's been out today. It's clouding up a little bit now, but the sun does keep coming in and out, so we might get a bit of strange light. I have shut the blinds that kind of are facing me, to kind of try and stop the light from coming in too much. And you might hear the chickens, because Howard's really been giving it some welly this morning. I think he's just happy that the sun's been out as well. The chickens, they go in when it's raining, or if it's too cold, they don't like it. So yeah, and we have had some strange weather, as I know a lot of you have as well. Some very strange weather. We've had an awful lot of storms, most of which, I think last time I spoke to you, we just had a real bad storm And since then, touch wood, they haven't been too bad. We've had Storm Jocelyn was the most recent one, which was mostly rain for us. It was a bit windy, but it was mostly rain. So touch wood, we got away fairly lightly so far. I'm sure there's still more storms to come, but I know a lot of you in the US have had some really freezing cold weather, and I know actually even in the southern hemisphere, if you're in Australia, you've had quite a lot of stormy thunderstorms and all that kind of thing, haven't you? So we're all having a bit of a strange time of it, aren't we? Right, let's talk about the weather, Elaine, and we'll talk about stitching. So I haven't got any finishes. I've got my WIPs to show you, and I've worked on quite a few, more than I thought I had actually. And like I say, I've got a bit of haul and whatever. So let's get on with it. Just get on with it, Elaine. So we started my book of days for 2024. And by the way, everybody who won a giveaway in my last update video have now received their, apart from Bo, I'm bringing yours with me in March, but everybody else has now received their winnings from my last giveaway. So here's my 2024 book of days. Here I am with it at the moment, so I've been stickering it up a bit. I had one day where I didn't stitch, and I can't even remember why, if I'm really honest. No idea. This down the side here is all my WIPs that I've carried over from last year. So I filled that in after I last saw you, when I did my WIP parade. I've just put bits and bobs on here this time. I'll put, you know, we've got everything from penguins and icebergs and things like that to I put a couple of light bulbs on, you know, because we were sort of in the darkest time of the year, weren't we, at the end of December, beginning of January, and it's starting to get a bit lighter now, which is quite exciting. So it's still quite dark in the mornings, but it's light now until 5 o'clock in the evening, which is like, yay, at last. I just about get out of work and it's still just about light, which is lovely. The chickens like it too, because they don't have to go to bed so early. I have put a picture of a bed in there because sometimes I feel like January is one of them months where you just want to cuddle up in bed, out of it really, because the weather's so awful normally. Right, anyway, that's my book of days. That's where we are with that. Let's get into my WIP. So I'll show you the full coverage ones first, and then I'll show you everything else. And I have stitched quite a bit on full coverage this time. So the first one that I stitched on, well, they may not be actually, they may not be in any order. In fact, I'm going to leave my book of days open so I can tell you how many stitches I've done on everything. So the first one that I've had out is charted by Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork's by Chris Dunn, and it is Simple Pleasures. I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and what it looks like when it's finished. It's dead cute, this chart, dead cute. And this is where I am with it now. So all I've done on this one, since I last saw you, I've done 350 stitches. So I'm still up here, you know, mucking about with the kind of the straw bit that goes across the ceiling of where the mice are. I'm stitching this on 28 count easy guide, and I'm stitching it in 2/1/10 stitch or half stitch. So yeah, just 350 stitches, but you know, 350 stitches is 350 stitches, isn't it? So that is that one. Oh, put that back over there. Right, then the next one that I had out, I don't know, oh, go away, frog. Seriously. The next one that I had out is also charted by Pain Free Crafts, but this one, the artwork's by Stanley Morrison, and again, I'll put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished and where you saw it last time. Oh, hello, somebody's dog's barking out there now. It's not mine. One's in the house upstairs laying on my bed, and the other one is laying out here in the garden, absolutely sound asleep, which is where he likes to be. Right, okay, so we digress. So the project I'm referring to is Blackberry Dragon. Here I am with it now. So I've been working more on this wing really over here. I did do a little bit over there, did a little bit more filling on his face, but mostly I've done a bit on this wing. And I have stitched on this one 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just over 1300 stitches, just over 1300. So you'll remember in my last update video, I was saying that I was going to make this one and Feast a bit of a focus. Well, I asked your opinion. Half of you said this one, the other half said Feast. So I haven't really done that. I was going to have this one out for a week and Feast out for 2 weeks, and that hasn't really happened. In actual fact, I had this one out for 4 days in the end. I say 4 days, I mean 4 evenings of stitching. So yeah, that's another 1300 put into this one. So this one I'm stitching on 28 count easy guide, and this again is 2 over 1/10 stitch or half stitch. Yeah, it's normally pretty easy going. It is a bit confetti-ish around this wing here, but I do enjoy stitching this one. But yeah, as per usual for me, I haven't stuck with my plans, and it just went out the window really. But it did get 4 evenings on it, so that was that one. And then talking of Feast, so this one again is charted by Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork is, we're back to Chris Dunn again. So the artwork's by Chris Dunn. This is Feast. I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time and what it looks like when it's finished. And here I am with Feast now. So with Feast, I've filled in a lot of this up here. There was quite a lot of ninja stitches around there, and I've been working, you can't see it very well actually, but I've been working on this bit underneath his chin basically, and bringing that down a bit. So with Feast, I have done 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just over 1,000 stitches, and I had this one out for 4 evenings as well. So yeah, it hasn't been out for 2 weeks. Blackberry Dragon didn't make it for a week either. So this one I'm stitching on 28 count easy guide, and this one I'm stitching 1 over 1 full cross. So yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't stick to the one and only plan that I thought that I would have. I just didn't feel like it, and I just wanted to stitch all the things actually. So yeah, but yeah, I've still done another 1,000 stitches on this. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So that's where we are at with a Feast. And then the final full coverage that I worked on, and I didn't have this one out at all last year, but I did have it out for 2 evenings this year. Ta-da! Well, it might get more than that actually, because I really enjoyed myself once I started stitching it. So the project that I'm referring to, this one is charted by Handmade, Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Randall Spangler. And this is So Many Books, So Little Time, the mini version. I'll put a picture in here of what it looks like when it's finished, and also where you saw it last time. And since then I have done a bit more on it. So I've been adding a bit more of the stonework here, and all these here, this is quite a lot of confetti, this band here. So I've been working on that, and I had this out for 2 evenings and I put 550 stitches into it. So yeah, so you know, even if I don't pull it out again this year, but I think I will actually, because I've changed my floss organisation with this one as well now. So I wasn't very happy with the way I had it organised, and I think that was part of the reason that I didn't want to have it out. This is my oldest WIP. I started this on January the 1st, 2021. This is stitched on Easy Guide. This is 25 count, and I'm stitching it 1/1 full cross. And do you know what, it was quite nice to go back to 25 count from the 28 actually. The reason that I use 28 count is so, you know, it makes the projects that little bit smaller. So that's really why, so I don't end up with huge great pieces. But obviously this is a mini anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be huge anyhow. I mean, that's as big as my fabric goes, and I've got 4-inch borders on this fabric, so it's not massive. But yeah, it was quite nice to stitch. It was quite nice to stitch in 25 count for a change. It felt really big. So yeah, so that's so many books. I'm pleased that I've had that one out. Very pleased. Right, so that's all the full coverage projects that I worked on. So now let me show you everything else really. So might as well do them in order because I've got my book of days out. So I'm sorry if I'm leaning over here, but my my desk is there, but then I've got other stuff over here, and it was kind of a case of trying to position myself in between the two really. So yeah. Okay, so the next one that I worked on, and I love stitching on this, and I'd really like to get this one done this year. So we had a Essex Needles Retreat stitch day a couple of weeks ago. Well, I say it's a day, but for me it's a bit more than that now because I can't just go to Essex for a day, it's too far. So I drove down on the Friday, and quite a few ladies stay overnight anyway, and we normally get a bit of stitching in. I didn't stitch anything not on the Friday night because I was too busy catching up with my friend Jan because she didn't come in November, so we had loads to talk about, and we shared a bottle of wine as well. So I thought, no, probably best not to stitch anything now. So I did stitch a little bit on the Saturday, not very much, and then I drove home Saturday night, which was a stupid thing to do. I thought I'd drive home on the Saturday night. Sorry, I know I'm digressing a bit. I thought I'd drive home on the Saturday night, so that way at least, you know, I've got all day Sunday at home before I've got to go to work on Monday. So, you know, the idea behind it was good. Actually doing it was not so good. So I left the hotel at 4 o'clock, so I think I was the first one to leave, and so Teresa had to host without me for the last sort of couple of hours. So I set off at 4 o'clock from Stansted, and until I got to Birmingham, so for those of you in the UK, Birmingham is pretty much halfway for me. Well, when I get round to the services on the toll road, it's pretty much halfway. So I got to the services, and at that point I really felt tired. I got there about 6:30. So anyway, I stopped and got myself a coffee and all that sort of thing. And after that, and I thought, what made me do this? Because I'm so tired. But anyway, I carried on. The traffic was really good actually. Once I got past Birmingham, the M6 was really quiet. And I got back in the car and I thought, oh my God, I've still got like 2.5 hours drive to go. Anyway, I got home in the end. Yeah, it was probably just about 9 o'clock at night. So I'm glad I did, but I kind of wish I hadn't. I kept thinking I could have been at the hotel now having dinner with the rest of the ladies, because some of them were staying over on the Saturday night instead of doing this. I should have just left early Sunday morning, so I might do that next time we do a stitch day. I'll just leave early on the Sunday, I think. Right. God, that was a bloody long explanation, wasn't it? Seriously. Oh, God. Right, okay, so the project that I saw this finished at the Essex Needles retreat, and it just looked amazing. So this is Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais. I really like this project, and in actual fact the lady at the retreat that had finished this, Libby, was responsible for me purchasing this in the first place, because I saw her stitching on it at one of our events last year, and she told me what it was, and it was like, I need to do that. So I'll put a picture in of where you saw this one last time. And here I am with it now. So yeah, so I had this out for, I think I had a couple of stitchy sessions on this one, a couple of evenings. So one thing I have done this month anyway, I normally stitch full coverage in the evenings, and I save all my other projects for the weekends, because the weekends for me at the moment I'm working full time, and so by the time it gets to the weekend I've done my housework and, you know, and gone out and floated about a bit, if you like. I've got less time for stitching, so I've brought my smaller projects into doing them in the evenings in the week as well. So not just my full coverage, but these two. And actually I'm really enjoying doing that, so that will probably continue for the time being. So anyway, I'm stitching this one on 36 count platinum by Zweigart, and I am stitching it using all the called for colours, and they are a mix of DMC and some overdyes as well. So that's where we are with Rejoice Evermore. Okay, so next one that I worked on, oh, and I've had this one out, I've had it out for more than 2 days. Yeah, I've had it out for 3 sessions, this one. Where is it? Oh, it's there. Okay, so this one, I am loving stitching this, absolutely loving it. So I'm doing this as a stitch along with my friend Stitchy Sally. And I'm so sorry, Sally, I know I haven't posted a single picture on Instagram. Sally's brilliant at it, as I know a lot of you will know, and I am rubbish. So you have to see my progress on here, Sally, because I'm rubbish at taking pictures. Anyway, I started this as part of Sally's birthday start in December, and I love stitching this. So this is by Teresa Kogut, and it's called With Thy Hands. And there's a few projects in here, but Sally and I are stitching this sampler at the moment, and I'm loving stitching this. I can't believe I've got a few Teresa Kogut patterns, and I can't believe that I haven't started any before. Anyway, I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. Oh, I can hear chickens. It's not mine though. I can tell my cockerels crow from miles away. I know when it's him crowing. So here we are with it now. So I've done quite a lot along this top bit here. Put in the flowers. That's my neighbour's chickens, if you can hear them. And then I've just got the other beehive to put in, and then we'll move down to the next bit. I've started to put, I have done the border all the way around, but I haven't put in the little bits and bobs that go within the borders. So I'm stitching this on 36 count vintage country mocha, and I'm using all the called for colours. which again, they're a mix. They're mostly DMCs on this one, but there's a few WIP Style Works as well, 2 or 3 of them I think, and I have used those. And like I say, I love stitching it. Love it, love it, love it. Seriously. So that's where I am with mine, Sally. So Sally started hers in a different place. She's done a centre start on hers, and I did a top left start. And yeah, so it's good because you get to see hers is different to mine. So Flossie Sews and Grows has joined in with us as well. Sally at Flossie Sews and Grows, and but she hasn't got that chart, so she's stitching Remember Me by Teresa Kogut. So yeah, that's where I am with that one. Okay, then what was next? Oh yeah, right, so I had this one out. Oh, apologies, I had this one out for 2 little stitchy sessions. This one is Autumn by the Cross-Eyed Cricket. This is what it looks like when it's finished. I'm sure loads of you have seen this because it's a super popular chart. Well, the whole series is actually. You can get either the seasons or you can get the months as well. So yeah, I love stitching this, love it. Love stitching everything really, I just don't have time for it all. Anyway, I'll put a picture in of where you saw this one last time. And let me just unravel it. Nearly showed it to you upside down. And here I am with it now. So I've been carrying on working on the U, and I've been putting the apples in. So I've got another apple to go, I think, and then some back stitching, and then I'm going to move on to the A. So, you know, we're doing pretty well on this one now. I'd like to say I'm fairly confident I'll have it finished by the autumn. So I'll be able to display it this year. I'm stitching this one on 28 count opalescent Midas by Chromatic Alchemy, and I am using all the called for DMC for this one. So that's where I am with that one. And yeah, I love stitching this. Really, really enjoy it. I've just got to find some backing fabric for this one. So yeah, I've got in mind what I'd like, so we shall see. Whether I can get it or not is another matter. Right, and then the next one that I stitched on, and I love stitching on this, I really struggled to put this one down. So I took this one to the Essex Needles retreat with me, and I did stitch on it for about 5 minutes on the Saturday. It was more than 5 minutes, but I didn't stitch on it for long, to be fair. So this one's by Scattered Seed Samplers, and it's called Winter Stash. This is what it looks like when it's finished. Super, super cute this is. Super cute. Look at those squirrels. So you've got the 2 big squirrels, and then there's four little ones around the sides, and then the ones in the middle on the tree. The 4 little ones around the sides are 1/1 actually. So I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. Pull the threads out with this one, and still got a thread. Do you know what? I've still got hanging thread. How bad is that? I don't normally do that, so apologies. Let me just move it for a minute so that you can perhaps see the picture a little bit better. Right, here's where I am with it now. I don't normally leave a thread still, it's one that I'm working on. But yeah, so I'm still working on my first big squirrel. And believe me, there's quite a lot of stitching in that squirrel. So this one I am stitching on 36 count Fibre on a Whim. I think, is it Milk and Sugar or is it Something and Honey? I think it might be Milk and Sugar. So yeah, 36 count, Fibre on a Whim, Milk and Sugar, I think. I could be wrong. But it's a really nice fabric to stitch on, and I'm stitching this using all the colourful colours. I say all, there's only 2 of them and they're both DMCs. So yeah, love stitching this, really, really like it. Really like it. So that's that one. And then what else have I stitched on? That's those. Stash. Right, okay. Then I had a new start. So this year I didn't have a new start for New Year's Day. I just wasn't feeling it. What did I stitch? I stitched on Rejoice Evermore on New Year's Day. And I kind of got into stitching on that, and I thought, you know what, I'm not just going to have a new start because it's New Year's Day. I'm just not. So I didn't. But by kind of the middle of January, so by the middle of January, I was itching to start something new. And I thought, well, you know, didn't have a New Year's Day start, so blow it, I'm going to have a new start. So I did. So I started this the day after I got back from the Essex Needles retreat, and this is part of my haul as well, actually. So I've had this chart for ages, and I've had it on my radar to stitch it for ages. So this is by La-Di-Da, and it's Something Wicked, and you probably, a lot of you will have seen this one because it's been around a long time, this chart, and lots of people have stitched it. You know, I just love that big boot, love it. And like I said, I've wanted to start it for ages and ages, and I thought, you know, I'm going to start it. I know it's not really Halloween stitching season. I don't care. I like stitching Halloween, so I don't care. Anyway, obviously there's no before picture because it's a new start, and I put a couple of days into this one, or a couple of evenings, I think. Or did I just, yeah, 2 evenings. So here I am with it. So started around the border, and then I started on that big boot. And the bit of haul that I refer to is this fabric. So this is glorious. This is a glorious piece of fabric. I wasn't gonna stitch Something Wicked on this fabric. I kitted it up and I took it with me to the Essex Needles retreat, thinking, oh, maybe I'll have a new start this weekend. And the piece of fabric that I'd chosen for this was Picture This Plus Ale. And it looked, you know, I thought it looked fine. But then I was doing some shopping, as you do, and Coffee Craft Fabrics was there, and she had this piece of fabric, and I thought, oh God, I want that piece of fabric. Look at it, it's just beautiful. So I bought a fat quarter of it, and yeah, and I started. I didn't start the retreat, I started on the Sunday. So this is a 40 count fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics, 40 count linen, and yeah, and I'm stitching this using the DMC conversion. I think it calls for MPIs actually, but it's only small, and I thought, nah, I'm just going to use the DMC, so I have. So yeah, and then what I'll do with the rest of this, I don't know, but what a brilliant Halloween fabric, isn't it? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So that was my new start, and then I had this one out for just a couple of hours, literally one afternoon. So this one you haven't seen for a while because I've not stitched on it for a while. So this one's by Long Dog Samplers, and it's Lamphire PG. And I'll put a picture in what it looks like when it's finished and where you saw it last time. and I really want to try and finish this one this year. I have got to. I think I'm nearly at 70% complete now, apart from the back stitch. But my friend Angela, Mrs. Miggins, has said that she don't mind doing a bit of back stitching for me in March. So I may well take you up on that, Angela. If you really want to back stitch this for me, it would be much appreciated. So anyway, here I am with it now. So since you saw it last time, I've been working on this bit over here. And it may not look a lot, but believe me, there's a lot of stitching in that. There is. I think I put another little spoon in somewhere as well. But yeah, this one I'm stitching on 28 count even weave in the colourway Knox, which is by Chromatic Alchemy. And I am stitching this in silks. They are predominantly dinky dye silks. The blue is Robin's Egg. The silvery white is Quicksilver. The darker grey is Ghost Gum, and that one there. And then that variegated silk is called Peacock Fuchsia by XQ Designs. But yeah, once I get it out, I love stitching this, I really do. And like I said, I really would like to finish that this year. So that's Clanfire PG. I found out I'd been saying it wrong, by the way, for all this time, because at work I've been trying to learn Welsh anyway with Duolingo, but Duolingo, like, you know, it's all right, it's pretty good, to be fair, and it's certainly helped me with learning words and, you know, being able to read some things and that, but it's not quite the same as when you actually speak to somebody in Welsh, obviously. So a few of the people that I work with are fluent Welsh speakers, and Welsh is their first language. And yeah, so they are teaching me. And one thing I've been getting wrong is saying Llanfair PG, which it isn't, it's Llanfair PG. I know. Don't ask me to say the whole word, because it's that big long word, you know, the longest, like, place name in Britain or whatever. The one that ends go, go, go. That one. Yeah, look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's, yeah, the place name is bigger than the place, I think. That's my view anyway. Right, so that's Llanfair PG. I only had that out, like I say, for one session, and then I had this one out for one session as well. And I don't know why I would be in the mood for stitching Halloween in January, but you know, we went with it. I went with the flow, and I stitched on this one that I haven't had out for a long time either. So this one's by the Primitive Hair, and it's called Old Salem Broom Company. This is what it looks like when it's finished. I'll put a picture in of where you saw it last time. And here I am with it now. So I had this out one evening, and I just put a bit more into the witch. As you can see, I've been working a bit more on a broomstick. I've finished her derriere, and I'm on to sort of the bottom half of her now. There's loads to go on this, absolutely loads to go. This is stitched on 30 count fabric by the Primitive Hair, called Old Salem. And I'm stitching it using the called for threads, which are both Gentle Arts. Yeah, and that's where I am currently with her. So I'm stitching her 2/2 actually, but when it comes to there's the wording, and then there's a border that goes around the outside. I'm probably going to stitch that 1/2 because I want it to look a bit more primmy, but I wanted her to really stand out, so I wanted her to be thicker. So yeah, so she'll look a bit more standouty, I think, than the wording, etc. But we're a long way off of starting on the wording at the moment, but you know, she's had some progress, I am pleased to say. So that's Old Salem Broom Company. Oh, excuse me, Flosstube itchy nose. What's next? Right, okay, so the next one that I had out, and I'm making quite good progress on this. Now look, I'm apologising in advance that I haven't ironed this one, and when I took it off the Q-snap today, I looked at it and thought, I probably should have ironed this one really, and I don't normally iron my projects until they're finished, but this one is proper screwed up, if you see what I mean. I do apologise that it is proper screwed up, but it was too late. Once I got it out the Q-snap, I thought, no, I need to. So please, I apologise for the creases, seriously. Right, the project I'm referring to. So this is Mary Mary Needleworker by Lindy Stitches. I'll put a picture in of what it looks like when it's finished and where you saw it last time. And if you remember, I was quite pleased with my achievement of having finished the big skirt on Mary Mary. So I've did quite a bit more on this one. So see what I mean? It is proper creased. I do apologise. So I backstitched the butterfly. I'd done the butterfly last time. I finished off this side border, and then I put the flower in underneath that and the little frog. The little frog's still got a little bit of back stitching to go. And then I've decided to come over this side, and I'm going to do the border over here and put in a pair of scissors. I don't know why, you know, but this project doesn't use 310 black at all, and except for a bit of back stitching. So I didn't kit it with any 310. I have got loads of 310, so it isn't an issue, but I need to rummage some out of my stash actually, and because yeah, the frog, he needs a French knot for his eye, and then he needs some back stitching for his legs. So that's where I am with Mary Mary. So I think she's coming along quite nicely now. Really like her, and I've got to find a suitable frame for her as well. So I have seen this project finish. So Cat V Stitches has finished this, and she put it in a lovely frame. I don't know where she got the frame from, but it was really lovely, and it really fit that project well. I haven't seen Cat on Flosstube for a while. She hasn't made a video for a while, so I hope you're okay, Cat. I'm not sure you watch my channel, but I do hope that you're all right. And I know you're supposed to be coming to the retreat in March, so I look forward to seeing you then for a catch up. Okay, so that was Mary Mary. So she had 2 evenings out, and then the last project that I've worked on. So this is a stitch along that I was doing with my friend Ellie Stitcher, but I think Allie's finished hers. In fact, I'm almost certain she put a picture on Instagram of hers finished. So this is Winter ABCs by Little House Needleworks. So this is what it looks like when it's finished. These ABC charts, they never seem to do them justice with, like, what, you know, what the finished article looks like, so to speak. Anyway, I'll put a picture in of where you saw mine last time. And here I am with it now. So I've had a little bit left to do on the sleigh, so I did that, put in the word frost and then the snowflakes, and then I've started on the little house, and the G is the next bit. I am a bit concerned with this one. I am going to finish it as a bell pull, but I seriously don't know what I was thinking with this one. I think it's all right at the top, so to speak, but I really am going to have a tight, when I come, I'm going to have to be really careful with folding this side over. When I started it, instead of centering it, I didn't. I just measured what I thought was like a 3-inch border. It is a 3-inch border, but it just, yeah, I should have centred it really, because it's going to make it, once I fold that over, it is going to make it really, really skinny compared to the spring one that I've got. So I'm looking over there because I've got spring hanging up over there. But anyway, this is stitched on 32 count fabric from Coffee Craft Fabrics. This is a 32 count. No, it's not. What is it? Yeah, it's 32 count even weave. This is, and Megan doesn't. She doesn't name her fabrics, but it is a beautiful piece of fabric. Really lovely. So that's that one. That is all my stitching. Oh, I didn't say Mary Mary is stitched on 32 count platinum, and that's stitched 2/2. This one's stitched 2/2 as well, although the holes on this one feel a bit tighter than 32, but it is a 32. And anyway, I'm stitching it 2/2 because I've stitched the other one on the other one 2/2 as well. Right, so that is all my stitching. So I think you'll agree I have done quite a bit, actually, quite a bit. So I'm quite pleased with that. Plans, there are none still at the moment. So I literally have stitched what I want when I want this month. I really have, and I've really enjoyed doing it. Really enjoyed doing it. So I think I'm going to continue in that vein for next month until, you know, sorry, itchy nose. You know, until I think I want to focus on one particular thing or whatever. So I know February, you know, lots of people are stitching love projects at the moment. I haven't really got any, I haven't got any Valentine stitching. What else? Yeah, so, and it's full coverage February as well. So no, I'm not going to stick to just stitching full coverage. Hang on 1 second. I'll just, oh, it's all right. It's okay. My dog's out there and he's looking at me through the window, but I know he doesn't want to come in. If he wanted to come in, no, he doesn't. He's walked off now. Right, okay. So next haul. So I'm not going to make any plans because I just am quite happy just stitching what I want to stitch at the moment. Right. Like I say, I went to Essex Needles retreat and saw all my lovely friends, and lovely Alison, the Stitching Whippet, very kindly, she's just finished this, and I commented that I really liked it because I do love scattered seed samplers charts. I really do. And I said to her, can I borrow this one? And she was like, yeah, no problem. Once I finished it, you can have it to stitch. So this is Midwinter's Day Tailor's Roll, and it's so lovely. But I love all their charts, so it's this one. So Alison, the Stitching Whippet, gave me this one. So yeah, I'm going to stitch that at some point. And then my other lovely friend Jan. So I hadn't seen Jan since September, and so we had loads to catch up on. And since I last saw Jan, she'd been to the Great British Sampler weekend, for which I was supposed to go to that this year, but I couldn't because, as it worked out pretty well that I didn't, because we were in the middle of moving at the time. My husband was going on a fishing trip to France, and it you know, and I had to stay and look after the dog, so I couldn't have gone. And yes, I was jealous that my friends went and I didn't. So yeah, so I had to live it vicariously through them, basically. But Jan sent me loads of pictures of what they got up to, and yeah, and they all had a brilliant time. And I have said, like, next time they do that in the UK again, I am definitely going with them. So yeah, but she very kindly, she gave me a Great British Sampler Weekend tote bag. It was my birthday since I last saw Jan, and I'd moved as well, and she bought me a housewarming gift and a birthday gift as well. So thank you, Jan. She was just so generous, so generous. So she gave me lovely British Sampler Weekend tote bag, etc. I also purchased off of Jan, because it was an expensive purchase, some Hands Across the Sea fabric, which I haven't got to show you because I've given it to my lovely friend Suzie to make some bags for me. So Susie's got that. So she's going to make some bags. Jan also gifted me as a housewarming gift the most amazing chicken tea towel. And it's far too nice to use as a tea towel. So I gave that to Suzie as well. So can you make me a nice bag or something out of that too? So I've got all of that to come from Suzie once she's finished with my panels of fabric, etc. Anyway, long chat again, sorry. But one of the things that Jan did give me was this. So this was Anne Ogden, 1843 by Hands Across the Sea. So I shall stitch that at some point. But yeah, thank you, Jan, thank you. So Jan and I have a lot of the same taste in stitching, actually. So she likes a good sampler, as do I. And in actual fact, a few of us got a bit enabled with Jan. So Jan is going to be 60 next year, and so she's done a bit of a list of samplers that she wants to start. And there's a couple on there that I'm going to start with her. And I think we've persuaded Crafting Kirsty to start some of them as well. So yeah, and most of them are whoppers. So it's right up Kirsty's alley because she loves a big sampler. And then I did purchase a bag from my friend Suzie. So she was there stitching, but she was also selling bags as well. And her bags are gorgeous. So I bought this one. So it's got a nice handle on it. There's the back fabric. This is what it looks like from the front. And I don't think you can really see it properly, but this vinyl that Susie's used, maybe you can see it a bit better now. It's got little hearts on it. Isn't it lovely? Really lovely. So yeah, so I bought that bag off of Suzie. I also bought that fabric that I've got something wicked on off of Coffee Craft. I bought some threads to kit up a project because I've borrowed a chart from Alison, the Stitching WIP. So I wanted the thread so I could get started on that project. So I think I've got till September to stitch it because she's not coming to the March stitching day because she's going to Australia to watch the Grand Prix, lucky devil. So yeah. Okay. More purchases. So these ones are sort of, but not stitchy related. So yeah, so I bought some threads from Marneys Mixed Bag. She was at the stitch day as well. I bought a new Q-snap. I think that was it from Sarah at Marneys Mixed Bag. I took cheese delivery with me to the stitch day, and I've given it to Robert from Hawkins Hobbies to frame for me. So hopefully I can pick that up in March. So after I've been to the retreat in March, because that's a full weekend retreat, hopefully I'll be able to show you my fully finished cheese delivery because he's got it for framing. So excited. I was going to take it to the guy on Anglesey, but he's still recuperating from his hip operation. So I'll take something else to him at some point. Right, so I've decided one thing this year. I need to be a little bit more organised. You know, I've got a lovely craft room now, lots of space. and I just need to organise things a bit better. So at the minute I haven't decided yet what kind of thread system I want to use. I don't know. I need to organise my threads. I do. I'm all right with, I don't know if you can see them from there. So all my overdyes are hanging up over there. That other one hanging up, that oh, you can't see properly. Hang on. So my overdyes are all hanging up over there. That other big bunch up there, that's the threads for Simple Pleasures. Actually, that's on a big jailer's ring. But yeah, my overdyes are hanging up there, but my DMC are all in a box over there. I don't think you can see that. No, you can't see that properly. They're all in a box over there along with my silks. And I need to, yeah, they need to be better organised than they are. They're all on like rings, you know, so I've got like all the 3000s to 3300s on one ring, for example. All the 0 to 30s are on a ring, all of that kind of thing. I haven't got a full set of DMC, so yeah, it just needs sorting out. Anyway, the other thing that needs sorting out is my charts. So I've, in a minute, let me just move you slightly. I apologise if I'm going to make you a bit seasick. Oh, there's my box look with my threads in. Right, but up there are 4 books, and they've got charts in them. Sorry, I didn't need to move you after all, really. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to move you. I won't move you anymore, I promise. So those books are falling to bits a bit. They've got like plastic sleeves in them, but they're not very good quality. I think I got them off of Amazon, and the sleeves keep breaking out of the book thing. So I bought one of these to experiment with. So it's, you know, just a concertina file thing. So it's got all of the alphabet, a pocket for each of the alphabets in. So I thought I'd put them in as so by designer, basically. So I've put a couple of charts in there to start with, but I need to sort all the rest out, and I probably will need 2 of these, if not 3. But I thought, well, it's a bit more organised than what I was using, and I quite like it, so I'm going to use that. So I got that off of Amazon, and then I went shopping yesterday. So I was going to film yesterday, but I needed to go shopping, so I thought, oh, I'll film today. I went to the range, and I particularly went to the range because I wanted a frame for my big pink house sampler that I completed last year. It was a stitch along I did with Stitchy Sally. So I thought that's one I'll frame myself, and I really wanted to crack on and frame it. So I went to the range and bought a frame for it, and this is the frame that I've chosen. So I picked this up yesterday. So we shall have a go at framing that probably next weekend, I think. So yeah, so I picked that up in the range yesterday. Yeah, and that's it. That's all of my haul. I haven't got anything else on. Oh yes, I have. Oh yes, I have. So I have bought a needle minder from Agnes Little Minders. I was quite fortunate actually. So I'd just gone to bed and I was laying in bed trawling Facebook, and she put a post up saying, I've just dropped some snowflakes in my Etsy shop, and I was like, have you? So I flipped over there and managed to secure one. So yeah, so I got a snowflake. So that's winging its way to me at some point soon, and I do want to put in an order with 123 Stitch as well. Blackbird Designs have reprinted one of their Loose Feathers series called Winter Wonderland, and I really want to stitch that chart. so I really like it. So I think it's due to be released either February or March. Anyway, I'm going to get it along with the 2 samplers that I've already agreed that I'm going to do with Jan and probably Crafting Kirsty as well. Yeah, so I will be doing an order with 1 2 3 stitch at some point. Right, okay, so apart from that, I'll do a little life update. So we have been an hour. I'll do a very little life update and a book update, and then I'll tell you what, I've only got 12 projects. I'll tag them on at the end, so if you don't want to watch that bit, you can toodle off, and I'll see you next month. Okay, so little bit of a life update then. So, oh, the chickens are at it again. Can you hear them? They're quite quiet at the minute, but they are at, I can hear one of them clucking away. Okay, so a couple of things really. The first one's to do with me. I had to go to the doctors, so obviously we moved house, I signed up with a new doctor, had to go to my new doctor's on the 29th of December because I needed a repeat prescription, but I had to go and see the doctor first because they wouldn't just give me one. I had to go and have a chat. And while I was there, I was saying to the doctor that I use a Ventolin pump from time to time. And he said, well, why? And I said, well, because I get really short breath. Anyway, I won't go too much into the whys and wherefores, but the upshot is it would seem as if I've been wandering around for the last 4 years with asthma, and I didn't even know I had it. There have been a couple of times when I've got quite scared because I must have been having an asthma attack. And my breathing was terrible, really, really terrible. Particularly last July, actually, when we stayed in a really old coaching house here in Anglesey, which was really dusty inside, and my breathing was dreadful. I didn't know I had asthma. I had absolutely no idea, and my previous doctor had just passed it. They did some heart checks on me at the time, said there was nothing wrong with my heart, and just gave me a Ventolin pump and said, just take this, and if you ever feel like you're short of breath, just use this. So my new doctor wasn't very impressed when he heard that, and anyway, he said to me, you've got asthma. So I had to go last week and see the asthma nurse and just do some more tests to confirm that's what it was, and it wasn't COPD. Luckily it isn't COPD. It is asthma. I was a bit stunned when I got the diagnosis. When I came out of the doctor's that day, I was like, oh my god, I've got asthma. So I've been having asthma attacks and I didn't even know that that's what they were. So he's given me a different inhaler, which is a preventative one, and I've been using that, and my breathing has been a lot better. So yeah, so that went on, and then my old boy Prince, who's the one who's always outside, bless him. So this last week he's been quite frail, really quite frail. He can't get upstairs anymore. And we've had to kind of block the stairs so that he can't try anymore, because he tries to get up there and then he falls down, and I'm scared he might hurt himself. He can only walk down the road for he still likes to walk, but he can only go for about 10 minutes, and I need to bring him back. And this last week he was getting more and more frail. He was eating, but not masses. And he's still drinking. Anyway, I took him to the vets for a bit of a once over. He's nearly 14 and he is a big dog. They have told me that he's probably got lymphoma, so he's got cancer. He's on steroids at the moment. The vet said that he thinks he's okay to carry on at the minute, and I felt in myself that I'll know when he's not okay anymore to carry on. But the vet's pretty much told me that at best we can probably hope to have him for perhaps a couple more months, and that's it. So not the greatest news, but you know, he's still here with me at the minute, so you know, it's not his time yet. I know it's not his time yet, so but yeah, so we're sort of trying to make the most. It's not like we can you know, we can't take him off down the beach anymore because he can't cope with it, so but he's very happy in the garden, and he spends most of his days out here, so yeah, so that's not great news, but it's not unexpected, but it's still, you know, he's my old boy, and yeah, I can't talk about that anymore, not on the minute anyway. So yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on with life, really. Work wise, I really am enjoying my job. I love it. I do want to go part-time. I am finding it hard doing 5 days a week. It needs it at the minute, it does need it, but I'm hoping that hopefully by the spring I should be able to drop to 4 days. I've got a lot of processes that need to be put in place at the minute, but once I've done that, I think you know, I can reasonably go 4 days, and that will make me very happy, because I'll be able to have a bit of stitchy and hopefully gardening time back as well. So yeah, and then books. So since I last saw you, I finished reading The Armour of Light by Ken Follett. 5 out of 5 for that one, 5 stars, brilliant book, loved it. And then I started reading a book that was recommended by one of my retreat ladies. She put a comment on one of my Flosstubes, and she asked me if I'd read The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I think it was this year. Was it this year's Booker Prize winner? Last year's, rather. Anyway, I've been reading that. So it's called The Bee Sting. It's by Paul Murray. It was a bit of a slow start, this book. So I started reading it, and it, you know, it's extremely well written. I started reading it. I thought, oh, it's a bit slow. But actually it's picked up now, and I'm quite enjoying it. So that was a good recommend, Alison. I'm glad I'm reading it. So yeah, I'm about halfway through that one at the minute, so when I get to the end I'll let you know what I score it. But yeah, that's The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. Right, that is everything. So if you don't want to see what I've got kitted up, thank you for spending some time with me. Thank you to my new subscribers for coming along, and thank you to all of you that watch me regularly. I so appreciate it, I really do. Hopefully I hearted everybody that commented on my last video. I did, I think, reply to everyone on my WIP parade, but I am finding it a bit of a struggle to comment to everybody. So I apologise if I didn't. I have read everyone's comments, and I do super appreciate the fact that you leave me a comment. Love reading them all, so please don't stop. But if I sometimes heart them, it's just because I run out of time, basically. But yeah, so thank you for every one of you that supports my channel. I super appreciate it, really. Right, okay, so for those of you that are leaving me, take care, and hopefully I'll see you in a month's time. For everybody else, let's see if I can. We're only on 1 hour and 7 minutes at the minute, so probably 1 hour and 10 by the time I put pictures in. So let's see if I can show you my kitted up in 20 minutes. I should be able to do that. There's only 12 of them, so and I would like your advice on one of them, actually. So these are all in one of my big plastic bin things. Right, so I mentioned earlier that lovely Alison, the Stitching Whippet, lent me a chart. So I saw this chart kitted up. Where's the rest of the thread's gone for that? Oh, I saw this chart kitted up by, not kitted up, completed by Crafting Kirsty. And I thought, oh yeah, I really want to stitch that. And so Alison, the Stitching WIP It, very kindly said to me, well, I've got that chart, I'll lend it to you. So here's the chart I'm referring to. This is by Plum Street Samplers, and it's called Christmas Tea. And I just really liked it. I thought it was really cute. So yeah, so I've got to get this stitched by September so that I can give Alison her chart back. So I've kitted it up in all the called for threads, which are DMCs, and or is it a DMC conversion? It might be a DMC conversion actually. Oh yeah, they're Belsoir silks. I apologise, but I'm going to use the DMCs. So yeah, so I've kitted that. The only thing I haven't done yet is I haven't pulled any fabric for it, but I've got some Picture This Plus Bramble in my stash, and I think I'm going to use that for this. I think it will look nice in that. So, but I have got all the threads, so it pretty much is ready to. It is ready to go. That one. This is in a project bag by Pauline from Sewbebags. Look, Teresa Koga. It's gorgeous fabric. So that's that one. Then even I don't know what I've got kitted up here, you know. So seriously, what have I got in this one? Oh yeah. Ah, right. Okay. So let me talk about this one for a minute. I really, really want to start this chart, and I pulled floss for it the other day, and the floss doesn't work. The floss I wanted to use doesn't work. I'm just going to pause you for a minute because I'm going to show you the floss actually and see what you think. Just bear with. Right, I'm back. Okay, so this is the chart. So I've wanted to stitch this for ages. This is Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fibre Arts. This is what it looks like. I got seriously enabled by Stacey, the 911 stitcher, with this chart. So the fabric that I have selected to use for this one is by Fabrics by Stephanie, and it's this is a 36 count called Haunting, and I just love this fabric, love it. So I want to stitch Enchanted Quaker on this. Now I have got a hank of PR 150 from Silks for You, and that was, I thought, the fabric, the thread I was going to use for this, but it's not right. Look, do you agree with me? Oh, I think it's too dark. I'm going to have to go. It's too in the middle. It's not standing out enough, I don't think. I think I either need to go really dark, but I don't want to stitch this in black if I'm really honest, or I'm going to have to go way lighter. I thought about something that's almost like a neon purple type thing. I don't know, but I definitely think the floss would get lost on this fabric. Let me know what you think. So that is my Enchanted Quaker. I love that fabric, love it. And my lovely friend Marianne very kindly bought that back from the US for me. My project bag for this one is another Sewbebags bag, nice Halloweeny one. So yeah, I really want to start that Enchanted Quaker, but I can't until I've sorted out. I might have to go and pick some floss from I had a look at some dinky dyes that Sarah Marney from Marneys Mixed Bag had at our at our stitch day, but she didn't have anything right for it, so I need to find some floss for that. Right, the next one that I have got pretty much kitted up. So I've got all the threads for this one. This was one that was gifted to me for my birthday by Teresa, my friend Teresa Little Stitcher. This is House on Pumpkin Hill Pinky by Stacey Nash. This is what it looks like. Look, it's lovely. Really lovely. And she gifted me that chart and all the threads. I've just got to pick fabric for it. The called for is Belfast, 32 count Belfast in charcoal grey. I'm probably going to stitch it in 36 count, and I have got quite a lot of grey fabric. I'm pretty sure I can find something suitable for that. I have got some greys. And this is a project bag from Patchwork Paw Print. No, it's not. It's not from Patchwork Paw Print. I think it's Penelope's Pocket, actually. Yeah, because it's got the tassel on it. And it's nice blackbird fabric. So yeah, so I just need to pull some grey fabric for that one, of which I have plenty. Right, now, these I've had ready to start for flipping ages and not done anything with it, so I really need to do something with these. So these are the Sheep Virtue charts by Little House Needleworks. So the first one I've picked out to stitch. Oh, I could stitch this as a bit Halloween, a bit Valentine's actually. The first one I've chosen to stitch is this one, Love. And I've already pulled the fabric for this, so I'm going to stitch it. This is 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. I've already zigzagged the edges. It's ready to go, this. It's ready to go whenever I want to start it. I've got the floss ready to go. Yeah, it's just ready. This is a bag I made myself with like little cupcake pigs on it. I know it's nothing to do with sheep, but never mind. So that's that one. Right, next one I've got kitted. This is the next one in the Animal Stack series that I want to stitch. So I stitched Cowpile last year, and the next one I've pulled out to stitch is Henpeck. So here's Henpeck. This is what it looks like by Plum Street Samplers. I've got lots of these Animal Stack charts. I've got all the flosses ready to go for this one, and I've got a fabric, sorry about the crinkling, from Coffee Craft Fabrics. This is a 36 count. This is a really lovely neutral, so I'm probably gonna use that for this. Well, not probably, that's what I've picked and that's what I'm going to use. The chart is, you know, very American, and obviously I'm not American, much as I love you all. You know, I am not. So what I might do, sorry, put that back in there. What I might do with this, I'm just going to stitch that chicken in white. I'm not going to put the established 1776 in. And then it's got lots of American flags. I'm not too sure about my expertise in reproducing a Union Jack. So I might just leave the flags off, actually. I might just leave them off altogether. Or I might just make them into an English George Cross. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm not gonna, that chicken's gonna be a white chicken, so yeah, so I'm not gonna put American flags on it. And this is a bag from Ness's Craft Room, which is quite a nice bag as well. Right, the next one that I've got, I have had this project kitted for ages and I really need to crack on and start it actually. So I've got all the threads for this. This is by Silver Creek Samplers and it's called Through the Storms. It's a chart that loads of people have stitched. I've seen this finished a lot of times. I want to stitch it for my husband. It says, this is what it looks like. And you'll go, oh yeah, I've seen that. So I want to stitch this for my husband. We've been married 10 years this coming December. And I did think about doing it for our 10-year anniversary, but I'm not sure if I put that pressure on myself, whether I would actually do it. So I haven't decided to do that. This, I've pulled the fabric for this. This is 36 count helix by Picture This Plus. That's the fabric I'm going to use for it, which is like a sort of bluey grey. Sorry, it's proper blowing out a bit, isn't it? Yeah, that's that one. This again is in a project bag from Penelope Pocket. So this is another Blackbird Designs bag. That's that one. Right, the next one that I've got kitted up, and I've had this one kitted for ages. I've got all the over-dyed floss for this one. This one is Spring Frolic at Bunny Hill by Brenda Gervais. So this is a proper spring chart. Look at that. I haven't pulled fabric for this one yet. So the called for is 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus, and I probably will use that, and I've got plenty of it because it's my absolute favourite linen. So so I probably will use the called for this. But yeah, this is in a project bag that I've made myself, so it's a bit ropey. Right, next one that I've got kitted. So we're not doing too bad. I've only been like 10 minutes. I've had this one for ages and I want to stitch this too. Can't wait to stitch this. So this one I am going to stitch. I've got all the called for overdyes for this one. I'm going to probably stitch this one in Legacy by Picture This Plus as well. So this is the Spring Chickens Pink Keep by Stacey Nash. I loved this from the minute I saw it, and yeah, I want to stitch this. So again, project bag I made myself. Bit of a very ropey one this one is. So yeah, so that's that one. I've got to start at some point. Oh right, yes. Now this one I've got kitted up as well with the called for threads. It doesn't use many threads, this one. The only thing I haven't done, I haven't pulled fabric for this, but I think I'm probably gonna use Platinum by Zweigart. I don't know what the called for is with this. Doesn't tell me. Why doesn't it tell me? It gives me loads of finishing instructions, but I can't see what fabric it's stitched. Oh, here we go. 30 count Prim Green by R&R Reproductions. Well, I've not seen that fabric, so I won't be stitching it on that. But this is by Blackbird Designs and it's Midnight Ride. It's this one. I love this. Love it. So I've got all the called for floss ready to go. Just need to pull a piece of fabric for this. But yeah. And this one is in a project bag from my friend Suzie, Handmade by Suzie. Lovely project bag. Okay, just a couple more to go, I think. I've had this kitted for ages as well, and I'm going to stitch these in whatever random fabric I've got available. I've got so many bits of fabric, it's easy to pull fabric, to be fair. So I've got all the called for with this. So they're classic Colourworks. This is by the Scarlet House and it's Needfuls. So it's her smalls, these ones. And I thought I'd start with this one here. That's the one that I've kitted up first. I need to find some vintage buns for this one, but I want to stitch all of these, all of them. But I want to start with that one in the middle there. Love that. So I'll probably stitch that maybe on Legacy because I have got a lot of it, or I might stitch it on something. I might stitch that on Platinum as well. I do like Platinum, as you can probably tell. What is the called for? The linen's 40 count baked clay from Fox and Rabbit. I haven't got any of that. I know I haven't. I have got some Fox and Rabbit linen, but not that. Right. The last two. This one I've even put the hoop in with it. So a couple of years ago. So this is White Christmas by the Little Stitcher. So I want to stitch all of these, and so far I have stitched that stag in the middle there, and then I thought the next one I'd start is this snowflake. So I've got the linen for it. So I've got a piece of, I've got all the linen for all four of them actually. So this is 32 count raw by Zweigart with a silver fleck through it. So I'm going to stitch them all on that. And I've got the thread that I'm going to use for that is sulky white. So I'm going to stitch it in one strand of sulky, and yeah, that's just white for that snowflake. So I've had that one kitted for ages, and again that's in a bag that I made myself with little hedgehogs on it. That's not too bad, this bag actually. Right, then finally, and this one you can help me with if you wouldn't mind. So I've got to start this for ages and ages and ages. I've got all the floss for it, all the called fors. So this chart's super popular, it's a biggie. So this is Halloween Quaker from Leela's studio. Here we go, that's what it looks like. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Right, now, it calls for, the fabric called for is murky, 40 count murky. Now, I pulled two different fabrics for this because I couldn't make my mind up. Because I have seen a few people stitch this, and I've seen them stitch it in this fabric. So this is Haunted by Picture This Plus. See, this is actually one of my favourite fabrics. So this is Haunted. I think it's 36 count. So I don't know. And then the other fabric that I pulled is this one. So this is 36 count murky. Now, would you, so this is the called for, but see, I don't think it looks like that. It does not look like that, does it? Sorry, it's not. Let me show you. I don't think. So should I stitch it in murky? I think it would look okay in murky, don't get me wrong. Or, like I say, I have seen it stitch using Haunted. Which one? If it were you, which one would you stitch it in? What do you think? Let me know, please, because I really can't make my mind up. It's ready to go, apart from the fact I can't make a decision around the fabric choice. Let me know what you think, please. I would value your opinion. And that's it. That's everything that I've currently got kitted up and like ready to go, basically, in a project bag, ready to go. And this one's in this project bag that I bought. Can't remember who I bought this from. It was a seller on Etsy. It's a huge bag. It's really big. Would it help if I showed you the floss that goes with this project? Hang on a minute. Let me show you. So these are the colours. So do you think, would they look better on the murky? Do you think? Or would they look better on haunted? Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Help me. Okay guys, so that's everything I've got kitted at the minute. So I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed it, because some of those things I've had kitted up for a long time, and I'd forgotten I'd gotten kitted up. Like that Stacey Nash chicken pin keep. I'm pretty confident I nearly bought that again, that chart. So I didn't even realise I'd kitted that one up. So yeah, I must have done that quite a long time ago. Okay, so they're what I've got kitted. So let me know what you think about that Halloween Quaker. Which fabric should I use for that? Okay, so that's it for me now. So I have done an hour and a half. I will be back at the end of February with my next update. Oh, the other thing that I have done as well, I haven't started it yet, but I have purchased some wool. We've got quite a good wool shop near me, and I bought some bargain wool actually, just to experiment with, but I'm going to have another go at crochet. I do find it a challenge to crochet. I'm used to knitting, and I think I try and hold my crochet hook in like I would a knitting needle in it. I'm a bit cack-handed anyway, so, but I'm going to see if I can follow a tutorial again and have a go at crocheting a blanket. I'm not very good at granny squares, and I'm not going down that road again. If anyone can recommend a good crochet blanket tutorial, that would be great. So right, that's it for me. I think you've seen me for long enough for this time. Thank you very much for coming and spending your precious time with me. I super appreciate it. I've really enjoyed having a chat with you this afternoon. Hopefully I'll get this video uploaded this evening. Weirdly enough, our Wi-Fi here is much faster than it used to be in Essex. Goodness knows why, but there you go. I'll see you all. Have a great stitchy month, and I'll see you all at the end of February. Bye guys, take care.